Bismillah. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم تسليما الحمد لله وكفى والسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, I seek refuge in Allah from the rejected shaitan. May Allah bless our master, Sayyidina Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, companions, and give them peace. All praise is due to Allah, for he is sufficient for us. Peace be upon his slaves, whom he has chosen. As to what follows. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Half Your Deen Show, HYD, with myself, Samira Abdullah, and my co-host, Imam Naeem Abdullah. And I see here Khadija's in the house. Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Amina, Brother Hassan Ali, Sakina, our brother Isa, mashallah, thank you for joining us. Please, please share and like this video. Share is caring. Sharing is like sadaqah. Mashallah, I don't always have to be monetary. It can be just doing a gesture of goodness, mashallah. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Sabir. Thank you for joining us this evening. Mashallah, please share this video. Please subscribe and like and hit the notification button on our YouTube page, because like we have stated, Facebook be fronting. Facebook be trying to sabotage, our platforms. And they do not send out notifications. Sometimes you got to dig for it. And sometimes you dig for it and then it's frozen. Like you can't even get into it. So there's something up with that. It's not our device. It's something that they're doing. They're trying to keep the people uninformed, ill-informed, and they want to put out there what they want to put out there. And so we got to combat that, and you can help us with that, mashallah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, partner. How you doing?
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, partner.
Welcome.
I was just thinking, sometimes you got to watch because I'll give you an example. It happens to me a lot, like on the scattered thoughts and the post-Fajr reflections that Imam Amin does. Like the Facebook notification will pop up, right? And then you click on that notification and it won't bring you to the show that's live. It'll bring you to an older show. And you know how I be getting hip to it? Because it's early in the morning. I don't know what he wearing, right? Till I click on it, right? I click on it, right? And I'm typing in Assalamu alaikum. Then I see Naeem Abdullah. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Wait a minute. I just got on here. Wait a minute. This ain't even today, right? Then I got to go out and come back in and go to the page and find the video that's live.
Yep, that happened to me too. Or it don't even go to it. You click on it and it go to some other video that don't have anything to do with what you're clicking. So it's a conspiracy. Conspiracy. Wa alaikum salam to Captain Brother Kenny. Thank you for joining us. As we stated, please share this video. Share it on your pages. On your profiles and pages that you think would benefit from this, mashallah. And subhanallah, like it's a lot of information out there, but it's not all good information. And so we're trying to put out good information, beneficial information, because this is something that we're going to be questioned about and held accountable. And so, when you see something beneficial, share it, because you share in that. So if it's good, don't be a miser and stingy and say, I'm not going to share this. You may help someone. You may be that inspiration for that person that just so happen to go on your page. Because you have people on your pages all the time, people that's not even your friends, probably don't even have any connection with you, and they just drop on your page. They see a video, whether it's this platform, HYD, or the Post-Fajr Reflections, or the Black Imams Roundtable. You never know who happened to be visiting. You know that, just tell on myself. You know that game, Cooking Madness? Cooking something. It was a game that Facebook had. It was really popular back in the days, right? You're not a game player, but it was Cooking something.
I am a game player.
Huh?
I am a game player.
Yeah, you just started. You just started.
I like Miss Pac-Man.
Cooking something.
I like Miss Pac-Man.
And the game was that you would like build a restaurant. You got to earn points. And and once you build a restaurant, you earn points. You cook the food, the people come in, get their food, and leave out, and you earn points, right? So you're able to expand your establishment. But also on that game, you're able to visit other people's restaurants, and you're able to collect from them, right? So just like with this platform, somebody is coming on your page. Issa said lurking. Yes. She said, Amina said she still play that. You come in there and go to whoever, somebody else's game, and you're in their restaurant and you look at how nice their restaurant is built or whatever. So this happens. So we never know. Cafe World. That's what it was, Khadija. Exactly. Cafe World. There's another one now says Cooking Madness. And so you visit other, establishments. People do that to your page. Unless your page is so locked down that you got everything blocked. But normally your page is a public profile,
Hey, sometimes people I get friend requests and I click. I investigate every friend request, right? Some of you, I deny your friend request because you ain't got no picture of yourself on there. I just delete it stuff. You may be a real person, but I ain't got time to figure all that out, right? But I get a friend request. I'm like, this profile is locked. You got to accept a friend request. No, the viewer. I'm like, no, I don't. Delete. I ain't going through all that, man.
Oh, they ain't post
No.
since 5 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And they got like 2 friends, right? And you the third, right?
And they may be a real person, may just started a new profile. But after you get at least 500,000 friends, then come back and request me. Don't request me like the third one or whatever like that. I don't believe you. I got issues.
Yeah, my criteria, you got to have at least 300 is pushing it. So like 400 or 500. I even look at those pages that have like, you only can have a maximum of 5,000 friends, right? It'd be like 4,900 and something, right? I don't even pay attention to those either because it's like you're just collecting friends, especially if you're not promoting anything, you're not a business, something that's, justified to have that many friends because you're not speaking to 5,000 friends every day. All right. You're not speaking that too many friends. You don't know all those people. Why you got all those friends? So, I'm funny like that too. So I look at the number of friends. Then I look at what you posting. Like if you don't have any personal pictures up there and it's just generic stuff, and like you said, it could be a valid page. It's a real person, but they just choose not to, whatever, that's on you. And sometimes I accept it because it depends how I'm feeling that day, or I just don't accept it, at all. I'll look at who you friends with. So even that, if you're friends with somebody that I don't like, you're not coming in.
I gotta admit, I'm gonna tell on myself. There's been some friend requests I refuse, and I know they're a real person, and like it could be a person from a city where I'm familiar with or I used to live, whatever, right? And I say, okay, it's a real person because they connected with all the people that I know that they know in real life or whatever, right? But they ain't got no information up there, no picture, no conversations on their page. Why I gotta show myself? You gotta stay hidden, man. Reject.
Exactly. You got to share some information. Like, even though we're not going to be besties and all that stuff, but I want uh, some kind of like give and take. Like, if I'm showing you some things and you came on my page, then I want to see something too about your life. It's just, I don't know. It's just, we just got issues, y'all. Alisa said, a friend of my enemy is an enemy to me.
Ah, I'm like that too. I got some enemies. There's some people that hate my guts. There's some people that have labeled me a shaitan and a dajjal. And sometimes I get a friend request and I go down their friend list, and that them dudes that call me that is on their friend list, reject.
Wa alaikum salam talabikata, Dr. Sabir. Thank you for joining us.
Remember Robin Harris? Gotta go, gotta go. Ha! Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my brother, Dr. Sabir, in the
Mashallah.
building.
Mashallah. And you do have to scrutinize these friend requests because you don't know, people, everybody is not the same, but people can use information on your social media for whatever they want to use it for and try to figure out your life and things like that. And it's a shame that, people do that. But yeah, you got to scrutinize. You got to scrutinize. But you know, some slip through. And the ones that really get me is the one is from the international friend request, right? They friend you, and first thing they in your inbox, Salam alaikum, walaikum assalam. How are you? Fine. That's nice.
Oh my God.
Can I ask you something?
So I be like this. Okay, it's a brother from the motherland. All right, I'm going to accept it. Ding, ding. Hi. Sometimes it don't be salam alaikum. Hi, hello. Like, hi, hello. How are you? Fine, alhamdulillah. How are you? I'm good, right? Then they come back the next day. Hi, hello, right? Or they may give the salams, assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. How are you doing? Good, alhamdulillah. How are you doing? Good, fine. I'm good, alhamdulillah. Then the next day, assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. Right, the same conversation. Then they might add another line. What country are you from? Negro, you first requested me. You don't know where I'm from. You just randomly requested people. What does it say?
And if you married, you got a big thing. You married? Are you married? No, are you single? Oh my goodness. Woo! Well, Khadija said there was an undercover transgender Niqabi that tried to call through Messenger. I don't get Messenger notifications unless I follow that person. So it took me a while to see it. Weird people out there. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, you got to check when you get, because I didn't know about it for a long time, but y'all probably all of y'all probably know this already. I was late to it. I think I found out when, like 2 years ago or a year ago, something like that. That if someone is not your friend and they send you a message, you don't come to your regular inbox. It go to I forgot what it's called, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And so, you remember how I found out about that one, right? Somebody sent me a whole bunch of screenshots by one of my so-called friends.
Amina said, have you heard from this program? They always get me with that. Yeah, when they trying to sell. I'm guilty. I was selling them pads, them Cherish pads. I was inboxing people. I'm guilty of that. And I ain't never get my pads to sell them either. Who got caught up with that? Them MLM businesses, multi-level businesses. I think they LMM, whatever. But yeah, have you heard about this? But mashallah. And one thing I was going to mention, if I see that you have like a whole lot of stuff on your page, like a lot of nonsense, I just like I don't want to deal with that. Like I just like, or I see people post that I don't normally see, because like I said, Facebook we like giving you send you notification whenever they want to, or they don't at all. So my thing, I see stuff from 3 days ago. It's not even recent. Does that happen to you? It'd be like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and I'm just seeing it. Like I don't see the current stuff until 3 days later.
Yeah, like I get tired of that, and I'll be refreshing it. Like 2 days ago, such and such commented on such and such post 3 days ago, but I don't care about that. I want to know what's going on right now. And then even when because on the app you can make it go to recent stuff, and even then I'm like, oh man, I'm getting out of here. I ain't nothing here.
Subhanallah. So I hope alhamdulillah, today's Thursday. Well, technically Jumu'ah for the Muslims. Alhamdulillah. It's been a long week, mashallah. I pray that whatever's going on in your life, know that Allah got you. Don't forget that. Allah got you. Alhamdulillah, you here listening to this podcast, watching this podcast. Alhamdulillah, that lets you know that you got another chance to do it right. Okay, mashallah. I'm reminded from this morning, from the scattered thoughts of Imam Amin. Someone came on there and said their father died, and that they were hurting. And I know how that feels. My father passed and my mother passed. And that's something that, you don't just get over. It hits you, especially if it's a sudden type of thing. Like for me, it was like sudden. So I didn't have time to prepare. And
For
so
your mother, you talking about for your mother was sudden, right?
well, with my mother, they gave her 30 days. They gave her a month to live. And she only lasted 17 days. And then with my father, he went in for a simple procedure and they kept him. And not too long ago, he passed. So these are things that, sometimes people prepare themselves because they know the person is sick and they go through the motions with them. And so as Muslims, I just wanted to remind us, we don't look at death the same way as everybody else. And the reason for that is because it's laid out. It's like we don't have any excuse to get our affairs in order. We know what happens in life, and we know what happens the time that the soul is pulled out of you, and we know what happens to you after the fact, once you reach the barzakh. And so those things should always be in the back. That should be the software that's running in the background, right? Because we don't know when we're going to expire. We don't know when Allah is ready to take us. We don't know in what state. So in that,
Super rock to the record.
Stop it. With that being said, right? That means in the meantime, you got work to do. Don't wait to do the work. Just do it. Because you don't know in the midst of that work, Allah is going to call you. So imagine doing good work. You being a good person. You doing deeds that, inshallah, Allah will accept them. Then, may Allah, forgive you. And may those deeds be the thing that allow you to go to Jannah. Or you may do deeds, and it may be good deeds, but you're doing it to show off, right? You help people, you assist people, but you do it so people can see you. That can land you in the hellfire. So we have to purify our deeds. That's scary, right? So when we're doing things, we gotta be constantly like checking ourselves. Who am I doing this for? Am I doing this for Allah, or am I doing this for the people? Am I doing this just for me to feel good? That's not good too. Yes, you want to feel good when you do good, but you want that thing to ultimately be for Allah. Like it's lillah, everything that you do. And sometimes we get caught up in life, work, school, just life, and we forget these things. And then Allah call you in the midst of that. So I just wanted to put that reminder out there, inshallah. Wa alaikum salam. Talabikatu, Sister Sajda. Thank you for joining us this evening.
All right. So how you know if somebody like you, somebody interested in you?
Yeah, audience. How do you know when somebody's interested in you? Somebody
Forget all the
check you
smooth
out.
transition and all that kind of stuff. How you know if somebody interested in you?
He just said.
Forget the segue. That's the segue.
You just said. How do you know?
How do I know?
Yes. And you ain't gonna get in trouble.
I know I ain't gonna get in trouble. Because a woman that really wants a brother is going to approach his wife and say, hey, I like your husband, like you did. Right? Ain't that what you did? We'll be playing around all those games and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, sister, alhamdulillah, I'm glad you're not opposed to polygyny. Your husband, Naeem Abdullah, I likes him and I want him. Ain't that what you did?
Yeah.
I remember you tried to change the narrative one time, like you caught some amnesia or something. I don't know what you said.
Yeah.
Like what you say, like the sun was setting and we glanced across the room or something like that. You were saying.
I didn't say it like that, Sister Sakita. It wasn't like that. But there was some conversations, and I heard his voice. He was giving a cook bar. And yes, I said cook bar. That's how I say it.
With an R. Y'all know cook bar got a raw in there, right? It don't end with a tamabuta, end with a raw. Could bar.
Yes, I said cut bar. And I'm like, and I was with a couple of sisters. I had met some sisters in my early days of Islam that brought me into the deen. I used to visit this one particular sister, Khadija Kabak. And, we would listen to, lectures and things like that. And your daddy, DJ, was one of the speakers. We listened to Imam Siraj, and it was your daddy. I'm like, who's that? He sound like he look good, right? And
This
not
before social
knowing,
media.
huh?
No, because you say he sound like he look good. I'm just reminding people that this is before social media.
Yeah, this was tapes, y'all. Y'all remember that? Are y'all too young to remember cassette tapes? Some of y'all might not even know what a cassette tape is. Yeah, they used to come in tapes, and the tapes used to have a cover, there you go. Y'all remember those? Now show the top of them. Show the top of that tape. Go up, move it over, move it other side. See them little squares on the end, right? I'm a school y'all. Back in the day, when we used to listen to the radio, and you wanted to record on those, if you had a tape, you had to put a paper inside those holes so you could re-record over the music that you already record over. So now,
because these tabs that she's referring to, if you break them out, you can't press the record on your radio.
Exactly.
And so that's the main way you make sure nobody record over what you already recorded.
Exactly.
But a whole bunch of, a lot of times we done record, if the tabs were already broken up, you stick something in there like paper so you can record over again.
Oh, let me go back. You done brought the tape out. I got a tape in here too. Let me see. Islamic tape, right?
Uh-huh.
Your thing came out, right? Remember that? And you take your
you gotta lift it up a little bit.
Right here.
Lift it up. Do it again. They don't know. So next time y'all see that meme, y'all, this is educational. This is not foreign eye. It's not foreign eye knowledge, but it's obligatory. Especially.
How do I work that?
Wait a minute. Especially if you got a tape of some old Islamic lecture that ain't nobody put on YouTube yet, it ain't on SoundCloud, but you got a tape. You could buy one of them tape converters and convert it and make it digital.
Exactly. Another way to do the tape. You can't sue it. You can do this right here.
That's the real ghetto way. Look, like if you can't even afford a pencil.
You do it on your leg. See how it works? You see that? Y'all brought it back. Oh my, ooh, subhanAllah, that brought memories. But this was back in 1997, 98 that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's like how many years ago?
I don't know. I didn't do algebra. I'm just joking.
That was like 23 years ago. Mm-hmm. SubhanAllah. Yeah. But yeah, so that's how you rewind your tape. Oh, and the last thing, say your tape pop, right? You have a favorite song on here. You will get a piece of tape, like tape,
Scotch tape,
and you would you would take the ends together and make sure it's not too wide because it ain't going to roll through there, right? Right? But better yet, say that this broke. Somehow this opened up. You got to roll everything on the inside and sit it in there right and make sure the little plastic tabs in there isn't right. I've been through a lot.
Let my tape rock until my tape pop.
You had to go in here. You got to take it out. Now, these got like screws in it, right? I don't think they had screws back then. And so you would open it up and fix it. And you didn't got that part going to be like silent. So if it's your song or something, that part going to be silent, then it'll come on, right? Ooh, y'all Yeah, you was 15, 16. She said 14, 15 for me. y'all was baby. Y'all like right behind us, Y'all was like in 10th grade or something like that. 10th grade. Yeah, 10th grade, 9th to 10th grade, subhanAllah. So so yeah, so I listened to him and I happened to meet his Zouj at the time. And we was talking, but I did not know that was her husband. And we just started, talking, and that's how that came up, right? Wa alaikum salam to Bikata Nadira. But I want to hear y'all. How do y'all know when somebody like you? How do you know when somebody's interested in you? It could be something past.
Don't try to get off the story. You ain't slick.
I want to draw it back because I'm telling my story, but I want the audience to, to chime in too. Because there was somebody else that was interested in me at the time too, and I didn't know.
I didn't know either.
And he didn't come out. He didn't say it straight. He was trying to get close to my son because I had my son at the time. He was like 6, prior to Islam, and he was like giving him candy, trying to get close to him, but he never approached me. So
that's the old school stuff, right? Yeah, this brother, this brother, if y'all know us, the son she's talking about obviously is Saeed, right? So if you familiar, this Saeed, right? So this brother's older than me, right? And so this brother, every time he see me give a little candy and stuff like that, he thought he was investing. I done brought all these candies, and you gonna go marry this?
You a mess. Sakita said they just inbox you. But how did they? It's hard now because people not really like face to face. I'm talking about like
you can't restrict it to face. This is not the face to face generation.
I know, but pre-COVID, I'm saying because your movements have been restricted.
Man, listen, you can't restrict it to pre-COVID.
Why?
Because people still like other people in COVID, so they like every stat that they make. Sister, wake up. Good morning, Facebook fam. How y'all doing? He the first one right there. He because he got you on notification. So as soon as you pop up, he there. Salamu alaikum. Before you hit kum and press enter, he like wa alaikum salam. Right? You like subhanallah. You didn't put your phone down. He responded. You know everything you say, whatever group you in, he in. Right? He likes you and he wants you.
Now, all you can do is give indication that rejection is real. Subhanallah. Somebody said, possibly when they constantly smile in your face and laugh at all your jokes. That's true. Khadija said they do research, and if you pay attention, they seem more engaged within your space. If they smart, right? Depending on how they come, they be all in your business. I mean, it says start from going to your Wali. They don't even do that.
Nah, the Wali be the last one to know. Trust me, y'all hear me talk about this enough. Trust me, the Wali ain't the starting point. Trust me. Wali be the last one to know. They done made the date already and everything. Then yeah, that's right, the Wali. Imam, I found somebody. What's up? They done been found them and a whole bunch of other stuff. They just doing you a courtesy, and you bet not say no, because the marriage is still going down. Somebody else will marry them. Trust me. You better not say no. You better not say hold up. You better not say hold up, wait, investigate. Nah, you messing stuff up. So the Wali, that's the good folks that's really trying to do it by the book and all that kind of stuff. But the Wali, yeah, nobody care about the Wali.
SubhanAllah. Sakita says stalking, like following every post, making a comment, oh, you look good today. You look so nice today. I hope you have a nice day. You know, do y'all think if he's interested, if I'm talking about for the sisters, would it bother you? I'm just putting this out here. It's not a real situation. If the brother like give you money, like here's a little couple of dollars for you to, take care, take care of your needs. How do you feel about that? He throw a little money at you.
Yeah, now remember this is 2021.
Well, Cash App. They Cash App you.
Do that happen? Do random brothers come out of nowhere? Sister, what's your Cash App?
Oh, they send you some 1-800 flowers through the mail.
What does sisters say? They got a meme for that. Sisters want to. What does sisters say? Brothers want to interact with you on every app except Cash App.
Oh, subhanAllah. Dr. Sabir, I want to know how the sisters do it. Sisters, how do you show a brother that you're interested? I want to know. Or how do you know, like, you got a friend, right? I'm speaking on a friend. Let's do it like that, right? Talking about a friend, right? Throw it off on somebody else. How do they show somebody that they're interested? Be honest.
See, they're not saying that.
Why y'all fronting? Why y'all fronting on here? Y'all know how people show that they're interested. They should Cash App my Wally so he can know what's up.
Sophia, you know they not Cash Apping your Wally. Stop playing.
No.
Nobody Cash Apping your Wally. Your Wally don't even know what's going on. Tell you the Wally be the last one to know, man. Nobody care about no Wally.
Nope. Walaikum salam.
Like Wally, what's that? His name Wally? Who's that?
My sister Isla is here. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for joining us.
Dr. Sabir said,
I am waiting. Sisters, how do you know? Because he might, listen, Dr. Sabir may be seeing some things and he want to know, should he take that to the next level, right, Dr. Sabir?
Exactly.
Dr. Sabir want to know. He don't want to just assume and make a, that first part, them 3 letters, assume was the first 3 letters, ASS. You don't want to make a ASS out of yourself, so.
Imam Amin said, this is his disclaimer. Walaikum salam. I'm on good behavior this week. I'm not interested in completing half my deen. I'm just here to support the show. That's his disclaimer. Now, if you want to know what's really going on, his inbox number stop.
Oh, Savella, he got done in. My sisters chewed him out. Walaikum salam to be captive, brother Farouk.
I get the impression that, Imam Amin may be getting beat up on the low at home.
Yep. You know how they say
it's look like she got hands. Plus, I don't think I ain't seen that video where she was at the range. I seen you. I seen you.
Oh, subhanAllah. So how do your sisters, this is for Dr. Sabir, show that you're interested in somebody? Do y'all show a little leg? Do y'all tighten up your overgarments? I'm going to just put it out there. What y'all do? I ain't trying to expose nobody. Do y'all got that push-up job? You got the chemo,
but they take the picture.
Chemo's all up here. What y'all do?
They take the picture with their hand on their hip and turn to the side a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Do y'all do that? Right? I'm just messing. Y'all should not be doing that. Don't do that. Because you're only going to attract a certain kind of brother when he's doing that. Because he like, that's what I'm going to be working with. Amira said, now Samira. I'm just kidding. But some sisters, not just in Islam, some women feel like they gotta expose themselves, expose their attractiveness, to get a sign, the attention of a man, and they think that's what's going to make them want them more. But he only want her for that thing. You understand? She's not showing him that she got a brain, that she can think, that she
What
has
thing?
intelligence.
What thing you talking? You said you only want them for that thing. What are you talking about?
What?
You said they only want them for that thing. I'm like, what thing are you talking about?
Well, whatever you think I'm talking about. Right? And you don't have to. And then you wondering why it's just that. Like the main focus is on that. And that can happen. And then, as Muslims, if that's the thing that you putting out there first, or you're like giving, sending indications about what he may get, don't do that. Because men are men. They're men.
Yeah. All right, but nobody want to hear that kupa you giving, man. Ain't nobody answering the question either.
Nope, nobody's answering my question. How do y'all let a brother know that he's interested in you? That you're interested in him, rather. How you let him know? You do this?
It may sound corny, but I make dua to Allah to let the brother know that I'm interested. All right, man. All right,
Oh, yeah.
Samira.
Yes.
Samira.
Yes.
Is this a helmet? She beat me over the head. Sophia running game. I'm about to expose you, Sophia. I got witnesses on the line, Sophia.
You should already be making dua, right? But then you tie your camel. You understand? Because every dua is, you gotta be careful what you ask for. You gotta be very specific, right? You can make a dua and say, I want a brother, right? That brother could come in all shapes and sizes, temperaments, all types of stuff with them, right? Because you just say, I want a brother. So now you gotta narrow it down. I want a God-fearing brother, right? Even that you gotta watch out for. Because he got Islamic knowledge, but is his practice on point? Is he putting into practice those things? So you gotta narrow it down. He fears Allah. What you about to say, Habibi?
Sophia's the only one saying anything. At
Yeah, and
least
I
she came.
respect her.
At least she came with the half truth to do our.
I respect Sophia. She put it out there.
We're going to ignore the part where she called the Imam and say, Imam, I like this brother. We're going to ignore that part. She maybe was making dua, right?
She said she's not that forward.
Okay.
Now, how can I say it? Brother, Dr. Sabir, nobody want to answer to give an example. It don't have to be your example. It could be somebody else's that you've seen showing that they like somebody. You understand? Sister Amina said, I just said, Assalamu alaikum, and went from there. So Amina said she gave the salam.
Okay. Well, how did you say the salams, though? Not all salams are created equal.
Now, when it comes to like a public figure, right? This is not my story, but I'm just going to help y'all out. I'm talking about from the sister perspective. She got all these questions that she want the Imam to answer, right? Okay? Just like, I just got to speak to him, and I need him to, she could have went to a sister. She could have went to anybody else, but she wanted to go to that Imam for that answer. Because that Imam is the only one that got will have the correct response, and reliable will be a reliable source of this question. Like, what time is Juma on Friday? You don't need to go to the. You don't need that. You have any congregant that go there, right?
Well, where's the masjid?
Yeah, where's the masjid? right? Where's the match at? You've been in that area all your life, but you asking where the match is, and you've been in. Don't get me started. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. Just
That's
making
why I
up,
said it.
just making different, and then they batting their eyes. Hey, ma'am, and then soften the tone and the voice and things like that. Yeah, she's interested. Sorry.
Sorry
What we
about
want,
what?
you need to ask Allah for it. Exactly, Sister Sophia. We do have to ask Allah for it. And be specific. Sister be talking all sweet, sound like Terminator on the regular, but voice soft like butter around. Yeah. I did one time, y'all. A sister came to the Imam one time like that, right? And he told me, right? And he told me how the sister was and everything. So I saw her at a function, and I said, "Salam alaikum. I heard you had some questions for my husband." Yeah. I just wanted to know. I'm like, "Why are you acting like that?" I just wanted to let her know that there's nothing sneaky going on, because people be acting like you doing something secretive, and that okay, the wife don't know, so I'm doing something that she don't have any clue, and he got his own thing going on. Nah, I'm letting you know. And she was just like, like, how did she? Oh, he actually told her. Now I saw Amina said if the brother's married, she gonna tell the wife. Do y'all agree with that? If the brother, I'm assuming if the brother, you said that you tell if he's married and you like him, do you tell the wife too that you like him too, Sister Amina? Or are you talking about the brother liking you and you tell the wife that he likes you? Sakita said, a sister came to my wife and asked, "Do you have room in your family?" I thought it was okay. Wow. She asked your wife, "Do you have room in your family?" Does she at least introduce herself, tell her about herself and, establish rapport? Because I think that's kind of like too forward.
I just want to let you know, Samira, that Imam, peep your game. Right? Told you. Sister Sabira is so smooth and keeping the sisters away from her Imam. Sister, you need to love for your sister what you love for yourself. Stop pushing the Imam around. See, he know, right? The sisters need to accept their spiritual guide. Imam Sufi.
You know what? That ain't even about that.
Yes, because the sisters need guidance. And only the Imam can guide them with a special guidance.
Listen, what I'm saying is that's not my problem. I don't have a problem with polygyny. I'm in it already. Been in it for the longest, right?
They all say that.
That's not my issue. I just don't like sisters coming up in there thinking they gonna push me to the curb and come in there and make my husband divorce me. That's the problem that I have. So I gotta watch our sisters that come in there like that.
She said, I gotta watch us. You sound like Imam Asim for a second. Gotta watch us. Gotta watch these jokers.
Gotta watch them sisters. So I'm not keeping it away, but you gotta keep it 100, because if she's 100, she's gonna mess with you. She's not gonna test your gangster. Mashallah. So I don't have any problem. Polygyny is beautiful. Polygyny is something that if done right and everyone has the, correct intentions and they love each other for the sake of Allah, it could be a beautiful thing. Everybody's different. It's not a cookie cutter thing. I'm going to tell you right now. You just don't want number 3.
he see you.
Listen, if there's a 3 and a 4, alhamdulillah, just come correct.
You heard that? Alhamdulillah, 3 and a 4.
Whatever. He don't even need my look. He don't even need my permission or whatever, acceptance or anything like that. So he's doing his own thing. I learned my lesson trying to hook you up with somebody. I'm out of that business. I quit long time ago. I ain't trying to go back to. I ain't trying to do that. It's between you and that person. I don't do that no more. I'm not hooking nobody else with my husband. Don't come in my inbox trying to get me to hook you up. I'm not. I am not. Inshallah. I'm not doing that no more.
A sister that knows her father.
You might heard that louder than anything else. Whatever. But I'm gonna tell you something though. I'm gonna keep it 100. Now, my first marriage wasn't polygyny. I didn't know nothing about polygyny. I told him if I knew what polygyny, how the things that I went through and all that stuff and learned whatever, that wouldn't have been my first situation. I wouldn't have gotten into it. I told him that. I'm just saying, if I knew what I knew now then, I wouldn't have done it. But a lot of plans, and we planned in a lot of plans, and a lot of domestic planners. I'm glad that it happened to be that way because we had our first child, first girl. I had his first girl. Alhamdulillah, I got something to brag about, right? First girl, mashallah. But anyway, so it's just I just keeping it real. So that's why it's so important that you learn a thing before you get into it. You have to, because you're gonna be resentful. You're not gonna appreciate that thing because you don't even know the ins and outs of that thing, and you're always gonna feel like you're being cheated or shortchanged. That's how you're gonna feel, right? But then once you win it, you're not gonna just kick them to the curb because things are, whatever. No, you work it, work through it, and that's what marriage is. It's work. You always working through things. Like it's not an easy thing, but if you really want to be together, and you're like, you know what, alhamdulillah, you will do what you do. You know what I'm saying, for the sake of Allah. And if that's your friend, it does help that you're friends with your spouse. If you're not friends with your spouse, I know y'all miserable. Just keeping it real. If you're not friends with your spouse, your marriage is miserable, and I ain't got to be in it. It's gonna be all sterile. I ain't even got to be in the situation. But if you can have a friendship in a marriage,
it don't have to be sterile all the time.
I'm talking about y'all not friends.
I know. You only need to be friends at one time.
Yeah, you'll do everything in a marriage, but it's not the same. It's like having like a cake with no icing on it. The cake is boring. It's just the cake part. But if you got some icing on that mug, it makes it even more enjoyable, right?
Sometimes it's just icing and no cake.
Icing? I like icing.
Yeah, so do most people. But you can't eat icing all day.
You can't.
Gotta be some cake there.
Exactly. You can't eat icing all the time. So you get the icing, you get tired of the icing. What do you do to stay in your marriage? Oh my goodness. What do we do, Habibi? What we do?
Nothing. Be honest with you, I don't think it's like a simple answer. We just cool. I think even before, right when we got married the first time, our personalities we just cool. We just be ourselves. And a lot of times when I give marital advice, sometimes I don't think I'm choosing the right words, but a lot of times we choose spouses for ourselves that we're not even cool too much. We're not even cool. We if you take the marriage and the intimacy part out of it, them two people can't even have a conversation with each other. There's nothing in common. They don't relate. They don't see the world the same way, nothing. And a lot of times that's hard to realize that among us because we Muslim and we come together inside of the context of the deen. So, we talk about the deen, right? A little bit. And then, so, okay, yeah, we both love Islam and we both about the deen or whatever like that. But we don't talk about, other aspects of life. right? We don't talk about other aspects. We just talk about the deen, or how much deen you know, and how long you've been in the deen, and how do you see the deen, and whatever. And we Muslims and we human, right? Some people go beyond that and start talking about other stuff that they like to do, right? Right? They go beyond that, right? And so naturally they're going to click on that, making all these false promises to each other and all that kind of stuff. And then when you get married, then you like, man, that's a lemon. You got a return policy, right? Is it like Amazon.com? Like if I return it right away, I can get my refund, right? So I think that a lot of times we get married, and the two things that we do have in common is a physical yearning for each other, and we both claim in the deen, and we love the deen to one extent or another. But outside of that, a lot of us don't have nothing in common. There's nothing else there. And so I think a lot of times people get married, and then after the deen itself, meaning the Islamic knowledge part and the intimacy part, there's nothing else there. And so it's like, oh man, who is this dude, right? Who is this sister? You don't have nothing in common.
I say one ingredient is that we play with each other. And you know that the Prophet salam, he played with Aisha. May Allah be pleased with her. That's a great example. People think things is like rigid and you can't have fun. You got to have fun. Now,
but they're not even going to be able to play with each other if the connection's not there. No. If you start playing with the other person might get offended. Like, no, it ain't like that. What you doing, right?
You got to feel the temperature. So compatibility is so important. It ain't just the looks. And it's so many beautiful people out there, right? It's an abundance of beautiful people out there. You got to get below the surface. You got to dig deeper. But you're not going to really know what you need until you know what you possess and what you have within yourself. Because it'll never work out. If you don't love yourself, if you don't have no idea who you are, you're just going to be whatever that person, you're going to be whatever that person sees, like want in a person. And you're just going to be like a chameleon. And you just lose yourself. And you can't, I'm selling bedroom dance. You know what I mean? So, it starts with you. You know what I mean? And with me, I wanted the deen. So when I married the Imam, I was a new Muslim. I was really, really new. And my motivation, and I don't really see it now, like I wanted to learn the deen, whatever that was. And I was willing to forego things just to get it. And I was satisfied. It's like, I don't regret that. Like, I didn't require him to take care of me. I didn't need any maintenance. I didn't know. I want you to.
And I didn't have to run no game to get you to give up your maintenance.
No, he didn't. And I didn't feel shortchanged or anything like that. That's just where my mind was. Some sisters may say, "You stupid. Why would you do that? That's your right over him and all the time."
And you know what? And I know we mentioned it here before, but sometimes, like, and I'm just saying this because a lot of times brothers think they have to be other than themselves in order to get the woman that they want. When she first expressed an interest in me, the very first thing I told her, and I always say, I'm the brokest brother on the East Coast. I'm not going to pretend like I had a whole lot of money. I don't have it, right? That's what I said, right? And she said that that she not want to marry me for that. And then the conversation went forth. So I'm just saying all that to say that a lot of times brothers be doing a whole bunch of, fronting and misrepresenting themselves. The average sister that's real, she wants you for you. You don't have to lie. She sees something in you that she wants anywhere. That's why she's talking to you, right? You lying and stuff like that. You just violating the trust already before the relationship even start. So
Yes, you
you
gotta
don't
be
have to
honest.
lie. If you can't really afford it or you can't afford it all the way, just let them know, right? Let her know. If that's a deal breaker, she gonna move on.
People don't like rejections. They like to act like they have something because that make them feel good. But after a while, that thing get old. Like, listen, brother, you said you was about this, that, and the other. I don't see it. And it's like, oh, that's all you want me for? It's not even about that. You made a claim, and I'm not seeing it. I don't see the claim being backed up. You know what I mean?
Hold on, Imam. Amin said something that I agree with, and I think you will agree with it too. Hold on. Wait a minute. Did I pass it already? Yeah. I believe among the keys to your successful marriage is that y'all been through it together and have come to really know each other. I believe that's one of the things that even outside of marriage makes a friendship and even a brotherhood. A lot of times we don't, we go through stuff with each other, right? And that's when you see what people are made of. You go through with stuff and you see who was there, who had your back, who folded on you, who ran, who act like they didn't know what was going on when you was going through it or whatever like that, you know? And so, I agree with that.
Yes. And we've been through a whole lot.
And all of it was your fault.
Yep. Y'all know your brother put me in Ida and I ain't do nothing, right?
Well, why you gotta keep bringing that up?
I'm just saying.
Why you got to bring that up though?
Just to show.
That was one of the dumbest mistakes I ever made in my life.
We make mistakes, right? You figured it out. I'm making a point. See, people don't like to, admit their mistakes. And so he used to tell me, and other people told me, he said, because, I was put in Ida, we got divorced, and, I went my way, he went his. But the thing that really, like, I knew that he loved, it was two things. He would tell every wife that he had after that, if I see Samira, if we come across paths again, I'm going to marry her. He told his women that.
I think they're exaggerating. I don't really remember that.
Whatever. You ain't say that?
I don't recall.
Oh, now he don't recall. Okay,
Well,
whatever.
I know one of them said I said that. I don't remember saying
You
that.
said that. You said that. But anyway.
Well, she said I said it. Did I said it there?
Number two, when we split, I had some belongings. I had pictures, photo albums, my, childhood, personal pictures regarding my family, my parents, things that when we went our separate ways, because we were separate for at least 6-7 years, I thought they were gone. Right. So I'm like, I don't have any pictures of my parents. I don't have any pictures of my family or anything. Like, I was hurt because I'm like, Dad, the house that we grew up in, we no longer, occupied it. So it was like everything was gone. So when we reunited, and we was talking whatever, and like, what you think, you think we can, would you marry me, right, whatever, right? So it was his time around, right? And so we discussed that, and then he hit me with that. He said, I got your family photo album. I cried like a baby. So every house he lived with, his wives at the time, he had my photo albums waiting to give it back to me. And that right there, like, that sealed the deal, and
I
he
didn't
was
know that.
in.
I didn't know that sealed the deal.
Yeah, that sealed the deal. Yeah, that was the icing. But even though some got lost, but it didn't matter. He had something. I thought it was gone. Just think of a treasure, something that was dear to you was lost, and you just thought, I would never see it again in this life. And he brought it to me. And alhamdulillah. It makes me teary eyed because
I mailed it to you.
you mailed it to me. I think you did. Yeah, it was in a box. Yeah. And it was a lot of pictures, y'all. Subhanallah. So, mashallah. So that's how I know that, he was a legit, he was a legit person, whatever. And you can't compete with that. So people have come into the situation trying to compete with that. You can't compete with that. Like, we've been through too much. You got to build your own thing. Like, I try to tell people, stop being concerned with the existing family. If you're there to marry the husband, build your castle. Stop worrying about my castle, because you're not going to duplicate that. Build your own so it could be yours. Because that's hasid. That's, that's coveting. My dumb mistake was acting like I had some money while knowing I was broke. Look what he said right here. This is what people. Oh, subhanAllah, but
I don't mind. They wasn't answering the question anyway.
Yeah.
He had Sophia beat me in the head talking about she just make dua.
Hussein said, is there such thing as being washed up, or rather not being realistic and seeking spouse? That's on a higher level than deen-wise and socially. That's on a higher level than deen-wise and socially. Depending on what you're looking for.
I'm not sure I understand the question. Can you reword it for me, Samira?
Is there such thing as being washed up, meaning like I'm done, or rather not being realistic in seeking, somebody that's like how we were saying, like just deen and, just coming together as that? Is it like something that like I should just give up on, like just stay single? Like I'm not going to ever find that, that person that meets the, my expectations. If that's a good retranslation, Hussein, please let me know.
I believe that there's a good spouse out there for everyone who wants one. I personally believe that. Like, a lot of people be having these fatalistic type of ideas, like nobody's out there, it's all messed up, it's all bad. I don't believe that for more than one reason. And I can't remember, and the Arabic of the hadith escapes me, but there's many hadith that mention how the day or the hour will not be established until such and such, and that there will always be a ta'ifa, a group holding on to the truth. And there's various narrations. I'm saying all of that to say that, generally speaking, it's never going to be a time where all of the ummah is bad, right? There's always going to be a time period that there's a group from amongst the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that's on the deen, that's on the truth, that's practicing it and living it and all that kind of stuff. And so this is one of the things that keep me going. There's sound hadith that testify to this in more than one way, right? I've just got them jumbled up in my head right now, right? And so the way I look at those hadith like that is that I need to find them and connect with them and be with them. And obviously, they're not all men. They're women, right, as well, right? And so, likewise, I know there's good women out there. Alhamdulillah, I marry one. Alhamdulillah,
Yeah, and there's good brothers, too, still available for the sisters. I think it's so much is going on that people are scared to take that chance. And I've met some good people, and I've come across sisters, their personalities is, I love it. And I'm like, why is this sister still single? You know what I mean? And so there's good people out there. They're just like waiting for the other person to make the move. Like you waiting. Sometimes you gotta go after it. Like they said, closed mouths don't get fed. Now, not everybody is like that. I understand. Everybody ain't like me. Right? But, I'm not saying me, but, like our mother, Khadija, may Allah be pleased with her. She sent someone to propose on her behalf, right? Think about that. She sent somebody on her behalf to propose to the Prophet ﷺ, right? She recognized goodness. right? He already had the character of trustworthiness. Like even his clan, even his tribe couldn't deny that fact. And that's not what made them reject the truth of Islam. It's that because the positions that they held at the time will be absurd. Like you couldn't be, oppressive and doing these things, in those positions, right? You had to, submit. So sometimes, you gotta, maybe change the approach. I'm not saying like you gotta be like sweating to do, like, like be, just being too much, like looking thirsty. Like there's a way you gotta have tact. You understand? Because some brothers, they may not like you coming to them first. They may say, well, why she didn't let me do it? Well, brother, if that's the case, then why don't you step to her, right? What's the problem? Like it's like I said, people waiting. Approach the person. If it's somebody that you think you're interested in, see what happens. It don't mean that you have to get married. You got to find out if y'all even compatible or not. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to know that until you start the process. And I know some, they don't want to because they scared of, rejection.
I put that up there because I went to comment on it. She said, Miriam said, stayed and tried to manage a family for 10 years in a broken marriage. I made a whole lot of mistakes. SubhanAllah, I know a lot of women that go through that, and I know a lot of men that go through that. I myself am one of them. I was married to a sister for 9 years. And part of one of the things in hindsight that I see about myself, that I wasn't really paying attention to the family. I know I had a family. I'm taking care of my family. I'm trying to teach my family. But, as a husband, right, sometimes you have to not sometimes, but you have to pay attention to what's going on with your wife. And something that if y'all listen to me regularly, all the time we talk about marriage, I'm always talking about the family, the history, what type of household they come from, and all that kind of stuff. Because I know what I'm talking about. I've been there before. And so I was married to a woman who was mentally unraveling right before my eyes, and I couldn't put it together. I didn't see it. I'm looking at what's going on right now in front of me. Because I was wet behind the ears. I ain't never been, I ain't never experienced nothing like this. I'm trying to figure out, why is she depressed? We got our own house. The money's good. We active in a Muslim community. What's her problem, right? She had childhood trauma that, that was never addressed. And she basically checked out, right? She wasn't taking care of the kids, whatever. And I'm staying there, holding on. And a lot of times we stay there and hold on because of the children. By the time I woke up, right? Like, I think by the time I woke up to the situation and by the time we actually got a divorce, I think there was maybe a 2-year period, something like that, right? And so even then I thought about, but these children, think about staying because of the children. And I really, it just snapped on me and be like, no, I need a divorce because of the children. Because the children are going to grow up seeing this toxic, crazy relationship. When I say toxic and crazy, I'm not saying like we was beating each other and all that kind of stuff. It was more passive aggressive than that, and stuff like that. So alhamdulillah, we ended up getting divorced. But the reason I'm saying all that to say is because sometimes we stay in a situation and we know it's bad, but it'd be like one thing that we value that's keeping us there. And most time it's the children. And we got to remember that, sometimes, the children, maybe the same reason that you stay in the children should be the reason you get the divorce, because of the children. And then with brothers, brothers have another layer of things to worry about, because, in this society, it don't matter what the Islamic law says and all that kind of stuff. The brothers is always thinking about child support. So sometimes brothers have a saying, man, it's cheaper to keep her. Say it's cheaper to keep her. Like, okay, this was y'all don't know. Sometimes brothers be thinking, okay, this marriage is not working. That's clear to everybody. It's clear to her. It's clear to me, right? But if I divorce her, right, it don't matter how amicably this divorce is going to happen. At some point, she's going to go to court, and they're going to do child support. And a lot of times, the court don't care what situation you got going on, how much money you make, they chopping.
Yeah, they take like 75% of your check. And then if you fall back, they take your driver's license. So you
And then
can't go to work.
And then a lot of us have a phobia of courts, which makes it worse. So we get taken to court for child support. Then we don't show up. Then they put a default judgment on us where they're not even taking into consideration how much money you make, how many people that's dependent on your income. They're not even taking care because you ain't show up because you scared of court anyway. And so a lot of times you could have been in a situation where all of those things would have been factored into the judgment, but you so have a phobia of court that you're scared to go. And so they make a default judgment, right? They didn't take in consideration that you're working at Popeyes and you have 4 children and you only part-time and you one sick call away from getting fired, right? They didn't take all that into consideration.
Nope. So one kid be getting like $1,100 judgment for $1,100.
Right.
Then you got other kids, whatever judgment they applied to that. Like, it's crazy. SubhanAllah. Yeah, I don't recommend somebody going and staying in or being in a broken marriage. Like I said, if you don't know what marriage looks like, like the basics, the foundation, you're gonna resent the person after a while. You are. And you're gonna feel like you've been being shortchanged. Or you be shortchanging the other person because you don't even know how to be a wife, or you don't know how to be a husband, but you trying to, fake it, and you messing everything up, and when the children is involved, it's just like another challenging situation that you got to work with. Let me see here. What did Sister Sophia say? How do we modify a command of Allah Ta'ala? When women stand behind the commands of Allah regarding their role and the man's role, she runs the risk of being called too traditional and even out of step with the modern way. When a brother stands behind the commands of Allah regarding being charged with maintenance, he's considered admirable and pious. That's interesting. I'm gonna take this down because it's taking up the screen. That's society. Our society is just back. It's just jacked up. Like, I can apply that logic with other things. Like, if let's just keep it 100. If a man is with a whole bunch of women, right? He's the man, right? Right? It's like he's praised for that. Let a woman do the same thing. She's a hoe. She fast, right? Promiscuous, whatever, right? She loose, right? That's how society, has defined our roles, and we have to inform society what our roles are, especially now these days in time. It's all jacked up. Lines are blurred regarding who's who and all that good stuff. That's why dawah is so important, and be unapologetic of your role in Islam. Islam came to raise us. I'm talking about the women. It came to raise us, right? So how do you equate that by being in a traditional role as being oppressive? Like, who told us that? Who gave us that definition? These people out here, this society. Islam doesn't tell us that. So we have to be comfortable. We have to be unapologetic, and we got to be, content. And how can I say it? The word slips my mind, but we got to be comfortable in that space, because our role is so the whole ummah is predicated on the treatment of women. Like, we make things happen, right? We either break you or make you. And so people didn't get the memo that if you support a woman, you allow her to grow and flourish, that's only going to benefit you. But if you have, you have low self-esteem and you're already lacking, someone that has that mindset only going to do that knee-jerk reaction and cut down that other person. You understand? And this is backwards. And that's why you have these male versus females. When the law says men and women are allies of one another. See, you got to know your place, and that you'll be content with that. Would you put this up here?
Because that question, I think you should address it. Farouk, I think he's replying to Imam Amin, but he still has some questions in here.
Oh, okay.
Stop it. I was on topic. My wife says I'm blind when it comes to sisters throwing choosing signals. She also says I'm too outwardly friendly, and sisters can misinterpret as cuffing signals. Can I get advice for both issues? Go ahead, Samira.
Why you sick me? Now, I have watched you on PFR and things like that, Brother Farouk. These days in time, you have to, you don't want to change who you are, but it can be interpreted that way. I'm not going to lie. But then I remember who you are. You understand? And I know you're not that, from what I see, you're not that type of, brother that's disrespectful and going to do things that's going to, make your wife look bad. But I see what she sees. And sometimes friendliness can be misinterpreted as I want you. And I've seen this towards married women, and I know you don't go that way. I've seen that. I'm just going to keep it real. We put it out there. Yes, I've seen it, but I know I say to myself, I know he's not like that. That's not the type of brother that I see him to be. But it can be interpreted that way. And that's not saying you're doing something wrong. You just got to be mindful. Like sometimes I do stuff or say stuff, and I'll be like, I hope that person don't think, I'm married, but I'm not interacting with you because I want you. You know what I'm saying? Because the brother can, do the same thing. Like I'll get friend requests. I don't know why they friend requesting me. I don't take brother friend requests, but then you say, well, you got brothers on your page. There's a certain reason. I got family. There may be a wife and, wife and husband couple, certain things or something that's going on that I'm working with someone that I need. And I get permission from my husband. Out of respect, I'll say this person friended me for such and such and so and so. And if he feel like, okay, that's legit, okay, boom. So I don't want nobody thinking this sister thinks she all stuck up, whatever. That's just how we roll. My husband very jealous. So he is. So I have to respect that. You know what I mean? And not because he's insecure. That's just he just care about me that much. You know what I mean? And brothers need to be more like that. Be jealous for your wives. That's a turn. That's a turn on y'all.
Also, I don't like sisters' pictures out of respect for my wife. Like it could be a picture that ain't got nothing to do with a sister showing her body. Like a sister just could be like, hey, I'm at the store, hey, look at these things that she in it. I won't press like. Because in my mind, I'm like, for my wife to see that, how's she gonna feel? Now, on the other hand, I know some brothers that's married, right? And the sister could be half naked, and they press like, and the comments is mashallah. I'm like, subhanallah, this brother ain't got no filter.
And then filet. Nah, that's right. But nah, that's, alhamdulillah, brother. You see what she see. You agree with my wife also? Yes, brother Farouk. Yes, you're my brother. You're my brother. I gotta call a spade a spade. MashaAllah. Miriam said, Sister Samir, be on it. I miss a lot. You make me want to watch the comments more. No, it's not that. I want y'all to be like, okay, let me see what he says or whatever. No, that's that's not the point. I don't want us to be, you know, paranoid and thinking when somebody put a heart or a smile or I mean or press a light on your thing that is something behind it, because it's not. It's not. It's not. So it's got to be a balance. You understand? It's got to be a balance, and it depends on where you at in your head. Like some people, they just like they like to show off their wife. They like to show off their body. I've seen this video, and this so-called, you know, I don't even want to put it out there because y'all might know who I'm talking about. But they was on vacation, and his wife had on like a bikini, and he's like, "Y'all see her? See how she look? This is his wife, and he has evidently thousands of followers and people viewing the video. You see how she working it, whatever. Like I'm somehow, it was just so disgusting. Like she belongs to you. That's your wife to enjoy. Why are you sharing her with the public? Like who does that? And that shows his insecurities, right? But then he do stuff where women are coming on to him, and he's like, "Oh, she got on me. I'm in the doghouse now, cause whatever." And it's like, but look what signals you putting out there. You acting like you're not even married, and even if you're in a polygynous situation, you still need to have a proper adapt when dealing with the opposite sex. You need to respect me. You know what I mean? So, subhanallah. Let me see. Let me go ahead. Wa alaikum salam to Barakatuh, Sister Zaveda. Just going through these comments here. It's a lot of comments. SubhanAllah.
Yeah, I was in the comments trying to find the next one. I was like 20 minutes
Wait a
behind.
minute, it's so much. I'm going through this here. SubhanAllah. Here go Malika. I stayed almost 5 years in my last marriage. Dude was on drugs. I was clueless in the beginning. He kept sending money every Friday and disappeared till Monday. A truck driver. I just took the money, listened to his broken promises until all of my patience ran out. I was so ashamed of that marriage. Wow, your situation remind me of other situations.
Yeah.
Like how can I say it? The signs be there, but you don't want to admit it that they're there. You understand? Like, how could I be so, like, you put yourself there, how could I be so dumb? Why didn't I see this? And sometimes we just want to have a good opinion. You know what I'm saying? And then again, sometimes, and I'm not talking about your marriage is based on how people see your situation. So it's like you want to show. And you want to show people how perfect it is. And if it's not perfect, you willing to live like it's a facade. But you know there's something up with that. And we need to stop having marriages based on what people view them. That's your marriage. That's your family. That's your, you only have to answer to that person. You don't have to answer to people on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you want. You don't have to answer to those people. This is the person that you lay up every night or whatever the case may be. You understand? You're intimate with. That you have intimate conversations. You understand? That's all. That's what's important. But when your marriage is based on what the outside looking in, then it's like that's on you. I blame that person. I'm not talking about you, Malik. I'm just saying that's on you because you want to be this fake. Like this, these reality shows, them shows be fake. Yeah, they reality, but a lot of that stuff be scripted just to make it look, just to keep, the interest going. They'll just put scenarios out there so you can keep watching. It's not real. SubhanAllah.
I put this comment up there because, I think this is real important. I'm kind of like connecting it to what Imam Amin said earlier. Most of us don't know what a healthy marriage looks like because we've never seen it growing up. A lot of women have daddy issues and men have mommy issues, and it shows once we marry. I agree. And I think one of the things that play a part in our marriage is that we both grew up with our parents, both of them. And both of our parents' marriages wasn't perfect, but we still grew up with our parents. And I think a lot of us who haven't grown up like that, or in a house, even if it wasn't their parents, but whoever raised them, not seeing healthy or even a halfway healthy situation, I think that plays a big part.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And a lot of our situations are dysfunctional. You know what I mean? And some of us are trying to right that dysfunction. We try to break the cycle. And like my growing up, there was alcohol. I grew up in that, and I promised I had a relative. I said we're gonna make a pact that when we grow up and have families, we're not gonna drink because we see what it does to us. So even though your background is a certain way, you can break that cycle. It's possible. You gotta want it. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta recognize it because sometimes alcoholism is a disease. So sometimes that be in your genes, and you become alcoholic. It's easy for you to be an alcoholic. And I know
Predisposed.
right, predisposed. So it's like I know that if I became an alcoholic, it's gonna be easy for me to be a drunkard because of what I was, like you said, pre-exposed to. SubhanAllah.
He said, what I mean by something like polyandry is polyandry, technically speaking, is when a woman has more than one husband, right? So, Issa said, what I mean by something like polyandry is she has one man, she gets one man's child support and another man in the house who is obviously not the man of the house. She is quarterbacking the whole thing. And it's a lot of situations. You laughing, right? There's a lot of brothers marry one sister, right? The sister got children. She's getting child support from the ex-husband or the ex-boyfriend or the ex-baby daddy, right? And the brother cool with that, right? We was almost going to do a show tonight about child custody in Islam, right? Right. But brother cool, he moving the house with with the children, getting the child support check, and they both living off the brother, the ex-husband, right? And she running things. And you better stay in line because she kick your behind out because you ain't paying for nothing. I'm paying for it off of this child support that I'm getting from the other brother.
That's not a man. Like, what real man would allow that some other Negro taking care of his household? Like,
Man,
that's a boy.
I got a list of that stuff going on.
That's a boy. That's not a Rejal. That's a wallet.
A lot of us, we take the easy way out. Like in the situation, that means, okay, homeboy paying child support, that's less money I got to pay, right? That's the way a lot of us think. But we don't realize we trade in our manhood or our authority in the house, in that type of deal. And then a lot of us still don't care anyway because I'm just here while it's good, and when it stops being good, I'm gone. You muted.
I'm over here talking. That is so true, sisters. Do not be putting yourself forward like that, because the dude will turn on you. If that support is not coming in, like people get used to things. And when you like withdraw or can't do it no more, he out. Because that's the only reason why he's around. So don't put yourself in that situation taking care of a dude thinking, okay, this is FCB, this is Sadaqah. No, make him work. Make him, even though you're able to take care of it yourself, and he's not contributing nothing to you really, and y'all just married for the sake of being married, don't do that. If he's not giving you something tangible in return, and you're putting out all the time, you paying for his gas, you buy his car, you paying the rent, the lights, the phone, the electric, the gas, whatever, the water, right? Cable bill, whatever, Hulu, Netflix, nobody got cable no more, right? You paying all of this, and he got nerve to say, you need to listen to me. I'm the man of this house. Why you ain't paid a bill for this month? Why we behind a few months? What's wrong with you? Then you say you was going to take care of this? You in the shoes. I'm going to sleep on the couch. Why he on Facebook talking to another sister in the DMs, right? Right? I'm going to separate the bed, right? Right? So he can be away from you to get his next victim. Because that's what's happening. He's going to get a next victim. And when you fall short, you know, he's out. But in the meantime, if you gave him a car, he's going to be driving that car to the next boo. You know, picking up, whatever. I'm just making up a scenario. Don't put yourself in that situation. I got a wild imagination, y'all, as you can see. Him too, but don't put yourself in that situation. Khadija said, you read that.
Well, I got to read it. You put it up there. Do you think these brothers that still hurt thrive off the thought that their ex is out there in the streets? Imagine they have an ex that have a stable family and she just get back to her life as a single woman, getting her education, courting, making new friends, etc. It'll eat them up. Yeah, some dudes will eat them up, just like some sisters it eats them up. Like that's even proverbial with, you know, a lot of sisters. You know, you marry to a sister, it don't work out for whatever reason. You know, you taking care of your child, and she's like, "Oh, I'll never take for the child support." You know, then I'm not going to the course of the kuffar or whatever. As soon as he remarry, you get the petition in the mail. I don't want that whore around my children. But my brothers, I flipped it to the sisters, but it'd be both, right? It'd be both. And I'm not saying, oh, you know, because I don't be like that. I know there was some brothers that assumed I was like that. I'm cool, right? I'm not thinking. I don't care about that stuff. Like the one situation I had in mind, they were talking all that trash. I said I could have married her back at any time, literally, right? We do. Y'all not the only one that got screenshots, right?
Imam Bobby said, Sabir, stop. You're going to ruin my business. Stop hating. What I'm doing? I'm sorry. Oh, Sabella. What Farouk said. Imam Sabir, I had this thought in my head. It's just a thought. Don't roast me. I want to share and hear your thoughts. Give me time to type it out. We're not roasting you. We just giving the seat.
Did you see this question? Amina says, can you answer Brother Rashid question, please? Let me see. If you see it before I do, put it up.
Okay.
I'm going up looking for it now.
Mashallah. So, this topic for today.
Hold on. Is it this one? But what of those who are overall but have partners that don't let go? You understand that?
What of those who are over it all but has partners that don't? So you saying you over it and this person don't want to go, want to split? I don't know the context of it. I can't answer that. So our topic for today, just a reminder, y'all, is how do you know somebody is interested and how should they come to you?
I think we might as well scratch that. They ain't want to talk about that. They just was crickets. Hassan Ali typed it in there. Crickets. We was talking.
I didn't want to show your hand. I know what it was. You didn't want to show your hand. So if you do it, they're like, oh, they interested. Oh, they got me. Oh, subhanallah. What? Salaam alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Sister Rukaya. Sister Isla said, I ain't no sugar mama. She said it. Woo, sugar mama. Sugar mama. Woo, child. Subhanallah. I'm going through here. No, back to home confinement. We don't want you thinking. It's too dangerous. Oh, subhanallah. Woo, subhanallah. But yeah, so you You've been married before, most of y'all. But sometimes those that hadn't been married before may not know what that looks like. If somebody is interested, they may just think that they're just being cordial. Like, what are the signs? We're just gonna ask that one more time since we got more people in the room. How you let the person know that you try to take your shot? What's the word? Shoot your shot. How you know somebody want to shoot their shot? Or how do you show that person that you want to shoot your shot? What do you do? They lie, put the Wally Wakil to work. Yeah. People say that. Sophia said that. That's not what happens. Y'all be all in it, all in love, right? Y'all already know, the family tree, great. Y'all know everything about the person, right? Y'all even know what type of soap they wear.
You
Not
know,
soap they wear,
I
soap
was
they wash
joking with
with.
I was joking with Sophia, but I can bear witness that she practiced that.
Yeah,
She put a
alhamdulillah.
Wally to work.
Mashallah. We love you, Sister Sophia. Inshallah, Allah will bless you with a spouse that is perfect for you and that you are perfect for him. Because there's somebody making dua too, y'all. Don't forget. There's somebody making dua for a wife, and there's somebody that's making dua for a husband. So, Allah creates these events. If they, align, inshallah, that'll if Allah wills it, it'll happen. So, and it's easy to say be patient, but you got to, because sometimes we be like trying to push things, and then in hindsight, they say hindsight is 20/20. You be like, I'm glad that missed me, but in the midst of it, it's like it's nobody, it's no one else except that person. No one else exists. Like, your world is just centered around that person, and that's like the worst person that you can be with. Okay. On the
There you
topic
go.
of child support, if a man is married to a woman for 5 years who has children and they had children together, the man took care of the whole family during the marriage. Should he receive a 5-year child support credit since he took care of kids that were not his for 5 years? Those extra finances could have went to his children alone. I know you just playing, Farouk.
Nah, if you worry about that 5 year support that went to the other children that wasn't yours, you got to take the East Coast Wahhabi minhaj. They come in the door, be like, "Them's your kids, not mine. I brought this food here. You better not spend the money on this food for your children. You spend the money on the food for
Yeah.
our children. I don't know how they gonna eat. That's your business, right? But
Yeah.
you
Yep.
doing?
You talking about, I know you're not serious, but if you are serious about that, I wouldn't be married to a brother like that. Like, that would turn me off. That would turn, I couldn't see myself in that situation. I'm like, that money gone, bro. I'm
I'm
not
too,
paying you.
I'm too kind hearted. I couldn't imagine, like when I heard that there be a lot of them be doing that. I could, cause I had a whole bunch of stepchildren, right? I could imagine like, all right, here's the money for the shopping, right? Now I need to see the receipt because I don't want you being sneaky using my money to buy your kids some food, right? I want to see a separate receipt for your kids' food. Like, how you even gonna divide that up, right? Like, you gonna cook separately too, right? Whoa, I brought that tomato sauce, right? I know we all eating spaghetti, but my tomato sauce ain't going in his spaghetti. You brought some. You got your own money to put the tomato sauce for his spaghetti, right? How you even divide that up?
Only his kid's name on the milk carton. Oh my goodness. That better not be, listen, that's sad. That's sad. I'm not saying, just a thought. But you know what? For you to even No, I know that wasn't about you, but just for someone to have that mindset, I wouldn't be surprised somebody had that mindset. Like,
No, it's serious. Like, you know, uh, in the when you take Negroism and Negroes and put them in the deen, that ain't really the deen, like Wahhabism. They turn what they think is the deen into an organized body of Negroism. They got, because they got the whole thing, the children of the bed, right? All right. So I fornicated with the sister, right? Being that we fornicated, right? The child is a child of zina, waladu zina, right? A child of fornication. So the child is attributed to the mother, right? So that means me legally ain't the father, right? Because it's the child of the bread, according to the hadith, right? So I'm not responsible, according to the Sharia, to take care of that child, right? And a lot of them do that, right? Like, I mean, yeah, it's my son, right? But it was zina. We weren't married. So I ain't got to take care of him, according to the Sharia. Negro, you wasn't supposed to be sleeping with her either, according to the Sharia, right? But this is that crazy stuff.
we got to stop being desperate to marry for halal sex, curbing loneliness, and whatever it may be. I did that and it blew up in my face. Now, I turned down proposals left and right, honestly. Single 3 years now with a lot of adhkar and fasting.
Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah.
Allahu Akbar. Mashallah.
Like you always say, you don't have to marry everybody. Like
right.
just because a sister make herself available to you, that don't mean you need to marry her. It's okay to say no.
SubhanAllah.
Hey man, I was putting this comment up there. Don't fight with me. I'm the man of the house. I'm the man of this platform too. And I'm putting Isla's comment up there.
Read it. You put it up there.
No, you read it since you try to take it down.
Ya Allah, some men are really jealous of the children and have no love for them. Look, well, who you bring into your family. Exactly. You just can't, just like I was saying with the polygyny, you have to be mindful who you bring in there because they don't complement. They have to complement the family, not be a complication, for the family. It's not so much you can do to separate everything. Like, that's not realistic, but at least choose in a manner that, mashallah, if something goes down, you have the support of the family because you are family, whether you like it or not. All the wives, and their husband and the children.
Choose in a manner that befits your majesty. So they be using that term to the creator. They want to use terminology denigrating the creator and then try to dress it up in a manner that befits his majesty. No, you use it for the creation. You choose a husband or a wife in a manner that befits your majesty. Don't be bringing no peasants all up in your kingdom. Now you can put that comment up there that you wanted to put up there.
Okay, I gotta find it. Hold on. Here we go. This one right here. Honestly, if you care for kids that weren't biologically yours, contingent on whether or not you and their mother stayed together, then those kids needed somebody and you were their somebody. That's a blessing. It's not your kids versus my kids. I have siblings from different mothers. Imagine we were treated differently because we have a different biological mother. My mother nurtured some, but not all. Think of those kids.
Yeah.
SubhanAllah.
And a lot of people growing up in situations like that. Like a lot of these things we saying, a lot of times some of these negative things we saying, a lot of times they're popular with men, but women be doing it too, or they're popular with women and men be doing it too. And there's a lot of women like that.
I like this right here.
They call it blended families. A lot of times the families don't be blending so good. Only a sucker would be jealous of the children. Exactly. My ex's two children come over to see their siblings. My children, my children. I even picked them up. Got to be a real man, though. Yep. Because these children were born into the situation. They are being affected by our baggage and our trauma.
Yeah, sad. SubhanAllah.
Exactly. Imam Naeem Abdullah, now you're bringing up a topic that needs to be addressed. Social status. Everyone ain't equal. I be bringing it up all the time. I think it fly over people's head. Everybody shouldn't be married to each other. I mean, seriously. I kind of like was talking about it a little bit earlier today, but not exactly. Talking about like when we meet each other to get married, and really the only thing we have in common is, you know, that we're both Muslim and that we both want some intimacy. But other than that, really, we don't even belong in the same room. As a man and a woman, we're not on the same page. You know, your thinking is in the gutter, my thinking is up here, and we shouldn't even forget being married to each other. We shouldn't even be in the same room. We're not even in the same circle. We're running in the same circles. Like sometimes, for example, you know, because, you know, most of us are black, right? So, you know, a lot of us, for example, I'm just giving you a real example. A lot of us, you know, come from the hood. A lot of us did stuff in the Jahiliyyah, right? In the pre-Islamic period. And we come out of that, right? Alhamdulillah, Allah bless us to come out of that. Some of us, if we didn't tell you, you wouldn't even know that that was ever our life, right? But then we marry some people who they come from the same type of neighborhoods, but they still in it a little bit, or they dibbling dabbling in it, or they still halfway into it, and they still got all the connections. And it ain't about dawah either. They just still, they're not in the club, but they're outside the club. You know, they're not getting high, but all their friends get high. You know, they there, but they still in the street, right? Situations like that is real. Both of them are Muslim. Both of them come from the hood, but the other one is still in the hood, like still participating in hood stuff, and the other one been left that stuff. And you marry them together, ain't gonna work.
SubhanAllah. I was inferring about that, like how some are still out there, you know, 1 foot outside the deen. Yeah, 1 foot is outside the deen and 1 foot in the deen. Or, okay, they're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and then they look for somebody else that's like that, but then get disappointed that the person is like that. That's what you search for. That's what you're picking. So what you expect? You understand? So that means you have to be a reflection of the person that you try to bring into your circle. It starts with you. You know, it starts with you. And then some of us, we know we haven't left the dunya. We still got a taste for it. And they still want to have some kind of attachment, something, you know, some leftover just to satiate them for whatever reason. And they pick that type of person to be around just so they can feel like, this feels at home. But really, that's your demise. That is a demise of your situation. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's like, you know, like crack, you know, it's very, you know, addictive. It's hard to break off from that. Some things of the dunya, we are so much attached to it, it's hard for us to break that. And then we wonder why we go through these cycles like a revolving door on all our marriages, regardless of how many children, because you have not looked at the situation at hand. You need to fix yourself. You have to be fixed before you try to bring a situation in to make it whole, you know, to embellish it in a good manner, you know, lack of better words. SubhanAllah.
Hussein said, "I know I'm talking too much. No, you're not. This is what we want." But my cousin married an Imam, knowing darn well she didn't even know Kesra from a Dhamma. Partly my fault because I was the Wali. I know situations like that real well. And I think a lot of times when we enter into a marriage, we confuse potential. I know because I kind of like look at, you know, uh, there's several machines that use the same type of graphics. One of those, well, I don't know the technical name for it, but the heartbeat machine, you know, boop, boop, boop. And electronics, I don't know if they still use this stuff, but they used to call it an oscilloscope, where it measures, you know, the current in the circuitry, right? And so, you know, you have a baseline and it's up, down, up, down, up, down, right? But in reality, people are generally going up or they generally going down, even though all the time it's still going up, down, like the stock market, right? When you buy stocks, they tell you don't zoom in on what's happening right now because it's way up today, it's way down tomorrow, it's way up tomorrow, way down the next day. No, you got to look at the long term. Okay, yeah, it's up and down every day, but is it generally going up or is it generally going down? That's how you make your judgment, right? And that's with stocks. If you can understand what I'm talking about, right? A lot of times we marry someone, right? And we're looking at like the stock. Oh, up 100 points today, down 50 points tomorrow, right? That's how we looking at the person. No, back up and look for several years. The trend up, down, right? And so, you know, that person marries an Imam, right? When they got married, she was up, right? She was up. But, you know, she's going to have valleys. She was at a peak, she's going to have a valley. How low does her low go? Right. And is she generally going up or generally going down? Because she married somebody of knowledge and is actively seeking knowledge, he's going up, right? And as new information comes in, you know, hopefully if he's sincere, his actions, he's always going to be upgrading himself. So if you're married to someone who ain't seeking knowledge like that, it don't matter how much they know, but what is your trend? Are you just temporarily up right now and you're going to be down and you going down, right? It's just going to be just growing apart. Another topic we almost chose today was the one that Hassan Ali suggested. I wrote all those topics down y'all gave me before, by the way. And was that Hassan Ali?
Love is enough.
Nah. No, yeah, the other Hassan Ali's one. Hassan Ali's other one. You grow together or you grow apart. Right? That one. And so a lot of times we don't look at trends. And I'm saying this because I know I made that mistake before. Right? Marry someone, I met them in class. I'm thinking they concerned about knowledge, we grow together. Well, you know, after the marriage, you know, care about no class, right? Can we do this? Can we do that? Oh yeah, we can do this and we can do that, but we still need to have class. And then even if they're in class, they're not in, they checked out. They don't remember nothing, they just don't care. That's another thing that makes myself and Samira bond, right? Early on, we used to have classes, and she's always been the best student. If y'all remember, a lot of times I talk about a group of sisters that was like the best students I ever had. Some of them are kind of popular now, right? But best students that I ever had. Samira was one of them back in Brooklyn. A lot of times she couldn't be at class because she had to work, right? But she
yeah, because I was holding it down. I was taking care of your black behind.
Needed to keep my PlayStation up to date.
There wasn't no PlayStations back then. It was
Atari, ColecoVision.
You're a mess. I want to read this comment because it's on the side because it's too long. Salaam alaikum, pardon me, Imam. I posted a question. I left a moment, but I was referencing Brother Farouk's statement about people having mommy and daddy issues. I was asking about relationships where only one person is concerned about what mommy and daddy did when you were 6 and you are now 30, 40, 50. Some people realize that it's pointless to dwell on, and some waddle in it like pigs.
I think you was just clarifying the question there. Okay.
I think it's too much of issues amongst men. It's more of an issue amongst sisters. Sisters, some not all, think they are on every level and overly appraise themselves. Oh, really? Subhanallah. Sisters, do you agree? Be honest. What he said. Sisters think they are on every level and overly appraise themselves. Do y'all agree? I need to hear from the sisters. Miriam says no. Do y'all agree? Sisters think they're every man's fantasies. Every man's whatever man that's out there, I'm made for him. He just don't know it. This sister said I disagree. Oh, subhanallah. I know I need work. You know, she be like, I'm smart. I can keep up with the email. Sister said, nope, that's a delusion. It is. But you have some sisters out here like that. I agree. There's some that's like that. They're every man's desire. No matter who man, your man, her man, that man, whatever. That's it. SubhanAllah. Alhamdulillah, I married someone way more knowledgeable and deen than I am. However, I'm an asset to the marriage. Right, husband? I love that. You see that? Now, sister has admitted the truth. I love that. She don't feel like less than a person because he has something more than she has. She brings something to the table. We got to look at that. We all have some types of, type of gift, something that we bring to the table. And it's not always financial and things like that. Just being a good person, just having a good, temperament, just something about you. You bring to the person that the other person may be lacking, and you balance each other out. Like me and the Imam, we're like, he balances me out, and I balance him out, and he balances me out, right? And so that helps because sometimes, you may be like, listen, bro, whatever, give him a see. And that helps that person to balance themselves because they trust you. They trust your opinion. You got to be with someone that trusts your opinion. You can't be with somebody that's just a yes man or a yes girl. Whatever you say, everything you do is right. You can't be like that because you are not being fair to that person. That person may think they are all of that and they're lacking. And you've been feeding them this lie like, yeah, everything is good about it. Everything, every single thing. But yet, when reality hits, it's like, what? Something ain't right. How come she say that I'm like this, but it's evidently that I am not like that? So she don't want to hurt your feelings, maybe. I don't know. But it's good to be honest and let people know, where they at. And if they're humble, they'll take your advice. You want a partner, a spouse that is willing to take your advice because they look to you to be honest with them, Subhanallah. And she said, balance is key to building a united front. Yes. Gotta have a that's something that people miss. They think it's cute to be in public doing this. It's not cute. I've seen it. You know, a woman belittling a man, you know, talking to him like he's a little child, thinking that makes her look good. It doesn't make you look good at all. It make you look like a disrespectful, you know, a woman. Like, not even a woman. Like, I don't know what to call you, but it doesn't make you look good. And so that united front, whatever you're going through, everybody don't need to know what's going on, because everything is not always peachy. It's not.
Look up in the top left of the screen.
Top left. Okay. What's the top left?
What does it say right next to the word live?
We gotta go. Last question. You put a question up there. Does a brother asking what you bring to the table bother sisters? That's a good question. This is gonna be our last question for this evening. Does a brother asking you what you bring to the table bothers sisters? It wouldn't bother me. Depending on what he asking. Like,
I'm real skeptical about bringing other people's narratives and other people's frames of reference and other people's discourse into our Islamic conversations, because a lot of times we introduce arguments that really don't even apply to us. Well, that's a weird question. What do you bring to the table? For anybody. I mean, just for me, I don't know. That's kind of like a weird question. Like, I wouldn't even be approaching a sister if I had to ask her what she bring to the table, because obviously I've seen something that's worth coming to the table. That's why I'm approaching you. You muted.
does it bother you, Sakina? Since you asked the question. Look at Sister Isla, she said. Thank you, Imam Naeem and Sister Sabir, for allowing Imam I mean to have some enjoyment. It's time for him to go to bed now. Bobby said go to bed. Oh, subhanallah. If you just said most, because they're most likely not bringing anything.
So you bring everything. like these potlucks we used to have at the bash shit. Everybody want to bring a bottle of water.
No, everybody want to come to the potluck and don't bring nothing, but they expect you to have some food.
Yeah, it's potluck. Everybody, they get there. Oh, I can run to the store and get something to drink, right? But we all just going to drink at the potluck and eat salad. Because some people that they brought the salad, right? We ain't even got no dressing. We just going to eat salad. We used to be some hamsters and some goats around here. What you doing?
Mashallah. Sakina said it doesn't bother me. I can bring some cheer. Subhanallah. Alhamdulillah. It was a pleasure, mashallah, as always, being with you, our family. Our family here at Half Your Dean Show. Alhamdulillah is Juma. Juma'ah, alhamdulillah, Juma Mubarak. May Allah, bless your Juma'ah. Please make dua for the Ummah. And may Allah bless, send prayers and salutations on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And keep your sisters and brothers in your du'as. We all are going through a lot. We're all being challenged. We're all being tested. And we need to be there for one another and not be treacherous. That has been the theme this week. Treachery. Khiana. And we have to keep that reference, that frame of reference, to make sure that we're not embarking on that. And that's what's, killing us as a ummah. And that's what's killing us, as brothers and sisters of one another. And so, May Allah, allow us to be sincere with one another, be true friends of one another for the sake of Allah, have sincerity and wanting for your brother what you want for yourself. It's so important because you don't know, what people are going through right now. And it's trying, but as long as you got your sister and brother, it just makes it that much easier. And we have to be family. I hope y'all don't underestimate that. Like, this is a family. The 3, 4, 5, 3, we're family. And to me, we're family. Like I don't even know how to express it. This is not just something just to be doing. You are my family. And I expect the same in return, that you see me as your family. Because I'm not trying to be nobody's enemy. If there's something I can do for you, alhamdulillah, I'm there. If something that the Imam can do, alhamdulillah, he's there, and if not, we go find somewhere where we can find that help for you, whatever we can do. You know what I mean? And so, don't forget that we are a family. We are a community of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I hopefully you take that to heart, because this is serious. MashaAllah. We love you too, Imam. MashaAllah. We are good people. Yes. MashaAllah.
And everyone else, we love our 3453 family. We are family. Alhamdulillah, we need to remind ourselves of that so we can act like that. Family, family's made up of a whole lot of people: mother, father, children, cousins, uncles, aunts, right? Everybody ain't going to be close like siblings or whatever, but we still family. And so we have to remember we all we got. Oh, and just one shameless plug before we leave. We got what you want. We got what you need. Can you put it in the website? By the way, this is a hardcover. Blackness in Islam by our brother Imam Dawood Waleed. You need these books, inshallah. Order yours tonight. It'll be in the mail before Juma, inshallah. This book got a lot of secrets in it. That's all I got to say. You're muted.
And follow us. The classes is at 4:30, around that time. 4:30 every day, Monday through Friday. And we're, covering this book, Blackness and Islam. This book is full of gems. It's a must read. It's a perfect gift, not just for Muslims, but non-Muslims. Because some of them already think that we just trying to be Arabs, right? And this shows you here that no, this is further from the truth. And this right here will, encourage them, inshallah, by Allah's will, to look into this deen some more, because the way it's been propagated, they have one side of thinking. But this book right here, it causes you to rethink your thinking. Like, where is this thinking coming from? Come from the enemies of Allah, in the deen and outside the deen. SubhanAllah. With that being said, you got anything else to say?
No, ma'am.
Yes, black is beautiful, mashallah. With that being said, Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wal asra innal insana lafi khusra illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawassaw bil haqqi wa tawassaw bis sabr. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
May Allah bless all of y'all and have a good evening.
Alhamdulillah.
Bismillah. Muhammadun